Hello my friends, welcome back to another art session. I'm Marcy and this is Prints and Paints. It's good to see you all again. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you stick around to learn a thing or two about dot mandala painting and also just basic painting needs. I thoroughly enjoyed last week's video. It was a great success. I'm so grateful for all of you and my new subscribers that I have gained. You guys are awesome, and I can't thank you enough for just paying attention and listening and enjoying, whether it's my calming voice, it relaxes you, or if you're learning how to dot. It all means so much to me, and I can't thank you so much for it. I've been continuing using Hippie Crafter. If you notice in the last video, I introduced you to some new paints, and I really found that they were really fantastic multi-purpose paints. I do still like to use my matte paints in my Deco art. I do a mix of both, but if you guys haven't checked out Hippie Crafter yet, please do so. I'll leave a link in the description. This epoxy resin I'm going to be using today. I won't be showing you how to use it today. I might make another video on how to do that, but I did use this type of epoxy resin, and we're going to be making these beautiful ornaments. Okay, so the season's coming. I know Halloween isn't here yet, but I'm just going to skip over it, guys, and I'm going to prepare us for the holiday coming up because I know a lot of us are already thinking about that. So these are fun. So this is a set of 3 resin casted ornaments. They're super cute. They're super tiny. They only come in at about 2.5 inches in diameter around, and they're really beautiful. I like the 3 set that we have, and they're really just a nice piece. I also have something for you too. So if you are interested, I know a lot of my viewers do like to purchase my kits. So I got a new kit for us, and this one is exciting. So this is going to be the Snowflake Kit. So this is going to be my winter edition for the kits that I make. The last one I did do was the pumpkins, if you remember, and it was a great success. I might keep them in stock. I don't know yet. Maybe a couple more, guys. But this is something new. So this is going to be my Snowflake Dot Mandala Kit. These are really fantastic for people who are just learning this, or if you want to give them to somebody who is interested in it as like a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. They're really nice, and I like doing them for you. I put this together. I thought long and hard for the past couple of weeks on how I was going to do this. So I made a little cue card here, and it's going to have basically the items that are included in your kit, and then it's also going to have a QR code, or it's going to have a link to the video that we are watching. And so in your package, you're going to get 3 of the casted ornaments. Okay, they'll already be done for you, and then you'll have some hangers so that you can have easy hang up. Nothing fancy, but it's still something nice to have. I did also make this little micro tiny little segment stencil that we will be using today, and this also just helps us keep our dots and our swooshes aligned so that they're not all crooked, because it is hard to paint on these when you don't know where the center of it is. So I made it possible to use this, and it's going to fit exactly on there. So you can use that for other things in the future if you want. It's up to you. You will also receive another set of 5 stylus. So if you have them already, great. You'll just have some more. You'll also get a 5 mil each of a dark blue hue, which is I think I'm using Moody blue. And then I'm also using winter blue, which is a lighter shade blue. Then you'll also get some dimensional paints. So I pre-mixed these myself, and I made one for metallic champagne dimensional paints. This is 15 mils. And then you'll also have a metallic ice blue dimensional paint, which is a really beautiful color. And so you'll have all of these for yourself. And then the only other thing I recommend that might work for you is that you want to use something like a micro puller. So this is what I like to use. This is from Happy Dotting Company. If you don't have this though and you're just starting out, you can always opt to use something around the house. And I prefer to use something like a bamboo skewer that has a nice tip to it. You can always toss this when you're done or clean it off and reuse it. This seems to be the best point as far as something similar to this. Or you can even try to use like a toothpick. I feel like this is a little too flimsy and might break, but these are a little bit denser and stronger. But either way, try to find something that has this laying around your house to pull. If you don't have any of these, try even so, maybe use like a push pin or something sharp that's going to be able to drag your swooshes. So that's that. I might include some cards in there like I did the last ones so that you can practice your swooshes as well. I think that having the practice cards are really helpful too. So these are our ornaments again. We're going to choose one of them today. First one, and we're going to do all three of them. I have some that I have here. So this is what they'll look like when you get them out of the package. All right, they're really beautiful colors. I know this doesn't really justify and pick it up. Now, one side's going to be a matte finish, but it still has that sheen to it. The other side is going to be very glossy and shiny, and that is your preference on which side you want to use. This is a little bit more rough because this is the downside of the silicone mold that I used. So this would be technically the side that I like to use. It's a little bit more smoother. And we're putting sparkle dimensional paint on there so it helps balance it out. But if you would prefer to use the shiny side, go right ahead. It's quite all right, okay? I use these by making mica powders, by the way, but I'm going to make another video, I think, that will go hand in hand with this one. So if you would prefer to get the items and make them yourself, you can do that. I am going to get out my dimensional paints, though. I'm going to shake them up. And I'm also going to get out my little paint pots. Remember, I am only using my set of my 5 styluses here today so that you can follow along, and with the help of my micro dotter. Now, to map out my segments, I'm going to probably use just a small Sharpie permanent marker. Now, I know what you're saying is like, ooh, it's Sharpie, it's going to stay there. However, I've noticed that when I was finished painting, I can go back in with a non-acetone nail polish with a little bit of a Q-tip, and I can remove it very easily. So that's something you want to do. You want to make sure you get non-acetone though, because if you get full acetone, it will do some damage to your resin, and it probably will potentially melt this. It could get it all scratchy and it could ruin it. So just keep that in mind. You could also try to use maybe some alcohol, but I would use like a 75%, not 90. All right, so we have those. You can always opt to use a watercolor pencil, and because it's watercolor, you just wet it and then go in with your stencil, and we can do that. I can do both just to show you if you'd like. This one I'm just going to make some little dots though. Okay guys, so we're going to just set some of these aside, and we'll work with the white one first. So I'm going to take my stencil and I'm just going to line it up. I like to do it this way so I can see where the circles are meeting. But they should just fall right at the edge. And I'm just making sure that this is lined up with the center here of this going straight down. I don't want it off-centered. Sorry if I have any coughing attacks in this video, guys. We've been passing around a cold again, so I haven't been feeling the best. So I got my marker. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to dot the center with a little dot. And I'm going to want to make 8 points. I like to dot right where the swirl going this way, the guideline going this way, and then the line going vertical. Where the two meet, I make that dot. And I only like to do maybe the two, and then so I'm going to do the inside first, and then I'm going to do the second row. I'm going to skip over I'm going to skip over the second row and do the third row. And I'm only doing the 8 segments that I had here, because the second and third rows have 16 segments. So make sure you're doing the right ones. It's usually the north, south, east, and west, and then the X is the 8-point segments. Okay, and then the bottom one here. And that's good. That's all I really want to do. You can see it's super tiny. Little dots. That's all I got. I don't need to go crazy on drawing a bunch of stuff on here, okay? Now, like I said, you can opt to use the watercolor pencil, or if you have a darker one for the white, that's fine. You get creative with that, guys. All right, now I'm gonna get out my dimensional paint. Make sure you shake it up a bit and get like a napkin or something and squirt out the first little part of it so that you don't do it on here and then it goes crazy all over your stuff. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit out. Good. Make sure there's no dried stuff there. So this one's fairly easy, and I love doing this one. It's really beautiful. I'll show you what it looks like there. Okay, it's very simple, but it's a great snowflake type pattern, and it really helps you improve your swooshes, I gotta say. I like to start with the bottom and the top, and then the left and right. I like to do those first, and then I'll go back in and do the other ones, because the small ones here aren't as inwards to the center, okay? So I'm gonna look at this little dot that I have right here. It's the one that's furthest out, and at the edge, I'm gonna dot a tiny little dot from my bottle. Nothing exciting, nothing too large. And now this is dimensional paint, so it's gonna have that nipple, it's gonna be raised. And what you wanna do is take your puller and try to pull it close to that dot that's down the center as you can. I only go a little bit past the dot, and then we can clean off our tool. Now on the next to it, I'm going to do a dot here and a dot here. And then I'm going to pull it up. You can either go up or turn it around and pull towards yourself. And when you do this, you want to start with the tip of this in the center of your dot, and then you want to pull it up. And I'm curving it. What I can do is keep going with this, or I can go over here and work my way. So I could do 3 for now and then keep going. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I follow this down, and right about where this is right here, where the circle stops, I'm going to do a dot right there. Just like that. And then I'm going to pull it towards me, and I'm just going to go a little bit over that dot. I'm basically mirroring this side over here. So over here, I'm going to do one on the left and one on the right. Just try to make your dots consistent, so the same kind of plumpy size, I should say. Now we can build up. So we want to do 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to stagger them, so when I do the next one, I don't want to go really far out here. I want to go as if it's like a stair. So a little bit staggered out, but also more in a straight line going up, okay? Like that. And then if I do this one over here, okay? Now we can take this, and as you climb up into this design, these swooshes are gonna not be so like this, they're gonna go really far at a 45-degree angle. Okay, see, so they're really gonna start curving now. Do this one. I like pulling them towards me when I work on resin because I find resin's very slick and you can easily slip by going up, whereas if you're coming down, you have more precision, you have more gain in your wrist action. All right, so again, we're going to repeat the process. Good. There we go. And we're going to do one more. And when you're doing this, you should just fall where those first circle of dots you did, the 8 dots in the center there. And then I try to join the two together to make a point. Okay, and now we're going to turn it 45, and we're going to start over. So we're going to do a dot at the edge here, making sure that it's in line with this dot and this dot all the way down, and do it over here. This is a great exercise for learning your swooshes, practicing them. I know a lot of people struggle with them. I find the best thing when, especially working with dimensional paints, is to just dab the center of that plump dot at the base and then just pull straight out. And don't keep pulling it, just pull it once or twice to get that nice tapered look. All right, again, we're gonna go one on the left and the right side. And if you notice, I'm not right at the base where the other one was. I'm a little bit further up, that's all. In time of practice, you'll get this down to where it'll be super easy for you to achieve. Okay. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for your comments and reaching out to me from the last few videos. It looks like a lot of you have some craft fairs coming up, and that's so exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. I hope you do really well. I'm debating on doing my last one because it's not till December 1st and it's outside. I don't know. I've been seeing snowfall in certain areas already. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll have to bring a heater. I don't know why I live here sometimes, because I really don't like the winter that much. I'm a more summery fall person. I like the fall, just not the winter. All right, we're going to do one more. Now if you get too close to the other one, just make a smaller dot so that they don't run into each other, okay? Because I was pretty close to these right here. So you just want to make a tinier swoosh, that's all. Perfect. Okay? There we go, guys. So we're almost halfway done. Okay, now we want to focus on doing the same technique, but we're just going to do a couple swooshes just to fill in these negative spaces. So again, I'm going to repeat the process I did. I'm going to focus on this dot I have. I have one here, okay? There we go. If I was feeling ambitious, I'd probably do all of them and just keep going around, but I'll do step by step just for you. I know this could get intimidating. Okay. And then we're going to do one last one, and that's it. I really sometimes like working out of these bottles. I find that making swooshes, it's so much easier to do this than it is to dot and pull. If you're looking to get those nice textured swooshes and raised types of paint, this is the way to go. Okay, guys, we're almost done. Okay. I'm so excited. Tomorrow I get to go to a wedding for one of our friends. A lot of our friends are already been married for a very long time. This is one of our younger friends that we have, and they're getting married tomorrow. It should be a good time. I'm excited to just dress up, have a good time, enjoy myself with my husband, and just see love all around you. It's always a good time. I think fall weddings in this area are absolutely beautiful. The trees are all golden and red and so picturesque. I wonder if a lot of my viewers even experience the autumn like we do here. Or is it just like desert or the same like palm trees? And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my 4 seasons, I gotta say. I really appreciate the change of seasons. When you live in an area that has seasons that change so much, though, you change too. And that, I think, is a very spiritual thing. You find yourself either having winter blues or have that pep of the spring coming and everything coming back to life and new beginnings, and it's all fantastic. But I think when you live in the mountains here, and there's just something so magical about seeing life change before your eyes. And it's just a really great experience. As an artist for myself, it's something that's pure beauty out there. It's great. I'm sitting right in front of my window right now, and all I see are colors everywhere. And it's just beautiful. Okay, guys, one down. So we did that one, and we can let it dry. It looks beautiful. I hope yours is turning out fantastic too. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Let's keep moving. Let's do the blue, the dark blue one, okay? We can knock these out too with the bottles. They're a little bit quicker. So now I'm going to get out my dimensional champagne color. Okay, let's get out. We're going to need a stencil first. So let's do our stencil. And I'm just lining this up so that the outer perimeter is lining up with my circle. It's going to be slightly in offset, if you notice, because I want you to make these tick marks, not have it on the outside. I just like to line it up and make sure that they're all evenly around. Perfect, and this helps us find the center of this too. So again, I'm just going to use my marker. You guys do whatever it is you want to use. This is just for demonstration purposes anyway, okay? So I think we're going to do the 8 again. So we're going to do 8 segments again. So that's the whole inner first row. And then I'm going to do the other outer. So the third row of the same one. I'm skipping over the ones in between. Okay. Got my nails done too. I'm feeling great today, I gotta say. It's a great day today. Every day should be a great day. Good. We're ready to go. We can paint this one now. So let's get out our champagne color. Alright, so now this one we're going to do a combination of this and some dotting. Not much dotting though. I really wanted to focus on us doing some swooshes today. For this one, I'm going to do something similar, like teardrops, and we're going to pull towards the center. So we don't want to dot in the center. We're going to dot a little bit further out. I'm going to say that you see this third dot that we have going on here, I'd say right in front of it. So if I can show you. I'm also going to be doing the 4, so the north, south, east, and west. I'm going to do a slightly bigger dot, and then the one that's in between here is going to be slightly smaller. So I'm just going to focus on doing the large ones first, and then go from there. So I'm going to take it, again, I'm stabbing the center of it, and I'm pulling slowly towards that center dot. Okay, that's actually perfect. How nicely tapered that looks. I don't even want to touch it anymore. It's perfect the way it is. Now I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do the top again. Try to keep the dots consistent in the size. Oh, I got a tickle in my throat. I'm so sorry, guys. I feel so sick. Ugh. Okay. It's very hard to make videos when you're not feeling well. Wait. Okay. I'm going to push through it though. So again, stab the center and pull down. And see, I'm only doing it once. I don't want to keep pulling because the more I pull it, then that tapered look is going to get thicker and wider. And I want it to be... Oop, my cat just scared the crap out of me. Hi. Wow. Hello, kitty. Okay, so there we go. We've got that perfect 4-point little cross or a star formation going on. Now I'm going to go in with the center. I'm going to do it a little bit further in. So if I see that these are here, I'm going to go a little bit. So actually, I'm going to use this first circle of dots here as my reference. And I'm going to dot that little dot. Baby. Sorry, guys. That little dot right there, I'm going to go a little bit past that right there for my dot. And I'm going to do it a little bit smaller. So something that looks like that. Oh my goodness. It's okay. I'm not even going to edit that out. Okay, so then we're going to keep going. So we're going to do this for the rest of them here. So 1. pull that. And just go very slowly, because you'll notice when you're pulling these swooshes that on a very smooth surface, you can easily go crooked. So take your time in pulling that down. Go very slow. This is all about precision and making those perfect lines. Pulling that perfectly down. Don't forget to breathe when you're holding your breath. Okay. There. So, it's coming out nicely. Yay. Alright, so what we want to do now, I'm going to do a series of walking dots around the large ones. I am going to get out my #1 stylus, so the small one. And what I want to do is squirt a little bit of this in a paint tray or something that you can hold some paint. Here, I have this little plastic contraption thing here I can use. It's a little plastic thing. I'm just going to squirt a little bit in there. I don't need to necessarily water this down. It'll be quite alright out of the bottle. And I'm just going to swirl that in. And I'm going to dot at the base where that black dot is that I did, okay? And then I'm going to go back in and then I'm going to dot and then walk it up around that large swoosh. So it should look like that. Again, repeat this side on the left side. And just go until you don't have any more paint. I try to keep them level, so if I stop here, I go, I want to stop over there. If you don't have enough paint, make sure that your dot's a nice bubble. I used to do wedding photography many years ago, and it was fun, but it was very stressful. It was probably one of the most stressful jobs I've ever had, was doing wedding photography. I just did not enjoy it at all. And you'd think you would, but sometimes you just, I think the stresses of getting those perfect shots and only having one chance to do it is detrimental, and it could really mess with you as far as being the photographer and making sure. And then you have a lot of people who are always be getting in front of you trying to take pictures, and you're like, ugh, you know. I remember how annoying that was, and it's tough. Everybody's so excited. Okay. Now I'm going to get out my size 5, the largest one, and I'm going to swirl in. If you don't feel like doing this, you can always opt to just squeeze the dot. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to try to do it this way. Where I just did the walking dot, I'm going to do a nice plump dot right below it. Let's see how that one falls. If it's not falling the way I want and it's too peaked from dotting it, I'll just squeeze out some from my bottle. Okay, and then we'll do one more on the other side. My goodness, I think my cat's playing with something. So much for calming talking, huh? Now you got cat noises too. Alright, I had a little bit of bubbles in those, so I'm just going to pop them with my micro puller. Okay. Now with my size 1, I'm going to go in and I'm basically just going to do 3 small dots. So I'm going to do, maybe I'll just do 2. No, I'll do 2. I'll do 3. So I'm going to do 1 and then 2 right next to each other, and then 1 right below that. And it just helps finish off this little design. Perfect, good. And we're almost done now. Now I'm going to take my bottle and carefully on either side. So on this side of my large dot, I'm going to squeeze a dot. Nothing too crazy, nothing too high, because I don't want them bleeding into the other things. So I'm going to do one on the right, and then I'm going to do one on the left. And then with my puller, I'm going to pull that up and around that to follow the walking dot that I had. I'm going to turn it around and pull it towards me because I feel like I have better movement. Okay, so again, we're going to do one on the right, one on the left. And pull this around. Okay. Just cleaning off my dotting tool. Okay. Oh. There we go. So we did our first group of these curved swooshes. Now I'm just going to go back in and do one more set. So I'm going to go right a little bit staggered. So right about there, I'd say. And I'm going to do two next to each other. So make sure you leave some room. So it should look something like that, the two. And what we're going to do, I'm going to turn it this way, is one of them is going to go this way, and the other one's going to go this way. There's a piece of hair. Here we go. And then we can do it again over here. 1 and 2. Okay. And the last one. There we go. There's our second one that we did. We have our first one and our second one. So we'll let those dry. We're moving right along here, guys. And my last one now is my blue. This one's nice. It's a very shiny, sparkly type of blue. I like it. It's quite nice. So what we want to do for this one, we're going to map out our stencil. So again, we're going to do 8 segments. These are all 8s, so there's nothing, you shouldn't have to do 16. So I'm going to do the center again, and then I'm going to do each of these, the first row, And then I'm going to do the third row. And then I think I'm going to do the last row as well, because we are going all the way out with this one. So there we go. There's our dots. Our little, I don't know if you could see that. It's clear. There we go. See, so you have the first row right here. There's our third row and our last row. So really we just left out the second row. Alright, so we can get out these paints now, the paint pots. And I'm going to go in with my largest one. So this is my size 5. And I'm going to dot the center dot. And I'm going to actually dot it really plumpy, really big. I want it very chunky almost. And don't worry if it's peaking. I'm really putting a lot of paint on there. This kind of acts as like an eyedropper. It pulls that paint off. Now we have a nice, it looks like a Hershey Kiss almost. So it's very peaked, see? Yeah. And what I can do now is with my micro dotter, my puller, I can smooth that around. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to clean off my dotting tool first. So take the pointy part and just swirl it around the top part of it. I'm just using the top. I'm not even touching the actual ornament. And I'm just swirling that top peak point down into it so that it's a raised dot still, but it's, if you go too far down and you start swirling it around, one, it's going to get much wider, and two, it's going to fall flat. So just make sure you're working the top part of it, almost like when you're doing like a lemon meringue or something and it's so light and fluffy and you don't want to smush it down because then it's going to smear. You want to keep it very light, like a cotton, fluffy, like a fluffy pillow. Okay, keep it raised. Alright, so now we're going to do some star formations. I'm going to use the light blue. This is winter blue. And on each of these 8 points here, the dots I did, I am going to dot and pull it. I'm going to get out my size 4. And I'm going to dot. I like to do the 4 and then go into the other ones. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, just to have those dot placements. 4. Just trying to make them all the same size, and I'm making them nice and like chunky. They're very peaked. And then I'm going to go in with that one so I see where I can place it and it's even. And the last one. There we go. Perfect. Clean off my dotting tool. And so now what I want to do is I'm going to get my pointy puller, and right where this third row of dots are, I'm going to pull that out. Now these are small, so what I want to do is just make sure I'm shaping that bottom half and then slowly pulling out so that I get a tapered look. So I would pull it, I'd pull it out first as far as I can go, and then shape the left side of it to make it more teardrop shaped. Otherwise it'll be like a circle with a line coming out. It's not going to be that teardrop shape, I should say. And then I pull it out. again, I go down the center till a little bit out, say 1/8 of an inch out from there, so that's like a tiny little swoosh there, like a little point, and then I just pull out. I think in my upcoming videos too, I am going to be showing you how to do a glass ornament, like a clear one, and how to add mica powders on the inside to make them like shimmery and sparkly. I, for one, have struggled with the how-tos on how to make those types of ornaments where there's like sparkle paint on the inside and then you paint the outside. I've tried everything. Glue, I've tried adhesive, I've tried pouring medium, I've tried polyurethane, and I found the only ones that really work well, that don't leave like a goopy mess inside, is a spray. So I'm going to show you guys those little secrets. The next maybe upcoming videos, I'm going to make a how-to on those. So okay, so we finished our star formation. Now, what we want to do is the same thing, but we're going to go in with the dark blue. I'm using the same size stylus. And this time, I'm going to go in between. I can eyeball it. I mean, I'm going back on my word here, but you could do the 16 segments and then you would have that dot in between. I find it's not necessary. It's okay to just eyeball it and dot. So I'm doing a dot, and then I'm going back in, and then I'm redotting it. So it's like a double dip dot, okay? There we go. I'm really just making sure I'm looking at this and drawing an imaginary line from the two, and that's where I'm placing my dot. And I'm making sure I'm in between. If you are struggling with that, you can always make 16 segments. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull a little bit just to make that little tight swoosh there, and then I'm going to pull that down just so that it meets in between the two white. I like to always clean off my tool so that's nice and fresh, because the paint can get gloppy on here, and that will change the way that your tapered end of your swoosh does look. It will become like thick and wide. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to get out my dimensional paints. Actually, I'm going to do the last part here real quick. So we can open back up our light blue, our winter blue, and with our size 5 dotting tool, we're going to do at the edge of these, like the same color that we did at the base here, I'm going to do one right below it here, and I'm going to do one on the left and one on the right. I'm going to double dip it and make sure it's a nice plump dot, okay? It's okay, it's peaked. We're going to go back over and smooth those out just like we did the center dot. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, almost done. All right, and there we go. And now we could just take our puller, and I just like to kind of swirl that around a little bit just to get rid of that peak. I'm lightly touching those dots, hardly any pressure at all, very light. And the paint will fall just a bit, so don't feel discouraged if it's not falling and they look a little peaked. It's okay. Get these. Perfect. We're almost done. So now I'm going to get out my metallic ice, my dimensional paint, and in between where the dark blue is, I'm going to do a tiny little dot. I'm going to make a swoosh right here. I'm going to do them all first. I'm going to dot them all. So one there, one there, one there. Sometimes it's easier just to do the dots first. They won't dry, I promise. As long as you move at a steady pace, you'll be all right. Okay, so if you notice, I'm just working in a circle here and doing all those. And now I can take the puller, and this is my dark blue, right? So I'm gonna pull it up towards the center where the line of the dark blue is and join them together just to make that little trio of swooshes. I can do it over here too at the top, bring it down if I choose to do it that way. I just want to make sure I'm cleaning off that puller though. That's all. So like that. This really is quite simple, and you could probably get these done fairly quickly. They're really fun projects. They shouldn't be overwhelming for beginners, hopefully. These are techniques that you will be learning anyway, so why not try them out, right? I know working on resin can be a bit tricky, so have patience with yourself. There we go. And then we're gonna do one last thing. And that's gonna be the other champagne dimensional paint. So we'll close these up. We can get out our dimensional paint now, and I'm gonna use the champagne one. And right where the first dot is that we did with the winter blue, we're gonna do a dot on this side, on the right side, and on the left side. We'll do that for each of them all the way around. Be very gentle, very careful. You don't get into the other paints. If you struggle with this, I would maybe recommend just doing little at a time and then letting it dry. This way you can work, because I know it's hard to hold these two. And then the last one. And now what we'll want to do is do a swoosh pull, and then we're done. See, we did 3 ornaments already, guys. Alright, so I'm going to try to do it this way. So I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm just going to stick it in the center and pull it down so that it goes right off the edge. This one is going to come a little bit down because there's some room up here. So I just want to make sure that this one is the same. This one comes around. Same with this one. And that's all we're going to do. It's very simple. And there we go, guys. So that's our last one. So we have our 3 wonderful and beautiful and simple but elegant ornaments. I hope you guys had a great time doing this tutorial, and if you did the kit and followed along with me, congratulations and thank you so much for your purchase and just giving me the time of day. I really do appreciate you guys. If you're interested in getting these, check everything in the links in the description. I'll make sure I have everything there for you. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. Happy dotting, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.